So guys, before we jump into episode 32 of the podcast, as always, we need to give a shout out to our sponsor, S+C Stoves. If you're looking for any advice on heating your home, or if you're looking to buy a stove or a log burner, please drop them a message or drop into their store. The postcode is NP40JL. If you mention that you are a friend or a listener of the podcast, you will receive a 10% discount on anything you buy. Thanks again, S+C Stoves. Right then, guys, welcome back to episode 32 of the S+C Hour. Now, it's a little bit different today. Unfortunately, my co-host Sam has been bogged down with childcare duties, so it's just me and our guest today, who is Eoin Duggan.
Hello.
He's brought in some, coffee beans, which are pretty spicy, chocolate nutty honey. They're... Yeah, Sam, you'll be absolutely buzzing with these.
I knew Sam was a coffee guy. So.
Yeah, he's more of a coffee guy than me, and now he's not here. Oh. So, yeah.
He'll stay in Dave for a while. So.
Happy days. All right, so, Eoin, lad, this is Eoin Duggan. How's your week been, mate? Let's kick it off.
Yes, very good. I've had a bit of a busy few weeks with the Six Nations and stuff at the shop.
Yeah.
I had last weekend off, though. So
nice.
It's my wife's birthday. So we had
nice. Where'd you go?
Well, we actually had an Airbnb booked for the weekend. They cancelled on us the night before. So in the end, we did nothing. So we had to find some last minute plans. But we actually went to Cumdy Fire Ice or something like that's called. It's like
the ice baths. Yeah.
I can't get on with it.
No?
No.
I thought someone would be like, we'll go into your background in a second, but I thought you would have been
I like the idea of it. I just can't get on with it.
What is it, the fire or the ice?
No, I don't mind the fire. I fucking hate the ice. The ice is... we did like 10 minutes in a sauna, then you do 2 minutes in the ice bath at like 6-7 degrees. And then you do 10 minutes in the sauna, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, and then 5 minutes. And it was just fucking horrible.
I think did you do that instructed? Like,
yeah, there was a guy watching me.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it.
There. And I'll be honest, if he wasn't there, I would definitely
that's what I mean. It's when I went, me and my girlfriend went and we did the ice bath, and I remember sitting there, and they basically said, go until you feel not so much comfortable, then get out, but don't start like shivering and shaking and being like you're fighting against it. And I remember sitting there and being like, I feel fine, I feel all right. And then it just hits you, and I was just like,
it's just trying to stay still. As soon as you move, your ankles go.
Yeah.
And the guy said, like, I was so close to getting out on the first 2 minutes, and then he said, no one's ever not finished the full 45 minutes, whatever it is, apart from one little.
Wow.
And I was like,
you've absolutely fucked me here.
Keep me in here. But then he said one person it was this little Japanese lady who apparently rocked up, didn't really know what she was signing up for.
And just went hardcore.
5-degree bath. And she just got out and stormed off. Like. So we had to do the full thing. And if you feel good after it, you do feel good. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I can do it.
So going on from there, the background. So the background of Eoin, what does that look like in terms of your sporting backgrounds, and you've just talked about the calf and the bar there. So you're a business owner as well. So what's your background, mate?
So in sport, I've done a lot of sports since we were kids. Well, me and Charlie went to school together.
Known you an awful long time.
Yeah, a long time. We've done all sorts of training together. If you can call it training. We did. When I went to my apprenticeship, I used to come to the gym, Charlie's gym, after work every day.
Yeah.
And we did you would probably already worked out at that point, but we used to do
the generic sort of bodybuilding style stuff. And then it was the occasional circuit or fitness. Yeah. It was very, let's say, because we were both very new to it, it was quite basic, but it was what we thought would have been good at that time. Which probably looking back at it now, you're like, what the fuck were we doing? But at the time, I think we were both playing football, weren't we?
You're still playing football. Just trying to stay in shape for that, really. I remember coming down, I can't remember your old boss's name, and Ian, he was trying to tell me how good it would be for football.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed all the cardio. When I used to walk in and see the WODs on the board, anything cardio I'd like.
Yeah.
Anything like powerlifting, Olympic lifting, or anything like that, you knew how much I struggled with it.
Yeah.
So we ended up just fucking around in there pretty much.
Yeah. So to go into it, in my old gym, the way it was set up, we had like it was Keepers Fit. For anyone who listened from Abergavenny, you probably know what that is. It was almost like a cult hero in Abergavenny, Keepers Fit for years. And we had like a bodybuilding section. to the gym, and then attached to that you'd have like a CrossFit room, and in the summer you'd be able to go outside and there was all sorts of tires and stuff like that, and you could run around the building and do laps. So when we used to come in, it was a case of we'd either use the bodybuilding side, do just the generic teenage kind of buys, tries, chest, shoulders, and nothing else. And then it was, right, when you talk about the CrossFit side of things, there would always be a workout up on the board, and we'd come in and usually have a crack at it in some respect, maybe taking out some of the more technical bits at the time because we didn't really know what we were doing. So the background in training, you've been in the gym, let's say, for Christ, since we were 17, 18, like a long time really.
We were in school, at least then. 15, 16, 17. I remember you joined Pontypool Leisure Centre before all of us, I think, when we were in school. I remember. That was the first time I started wanting to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Then we all joined Leisure Centre in Abergavenny. And started from there, doing a bit of everything. Yeah.
And the thought process behind both of us, I think, at the time was get in shape, but also we had that footballing background. We're both playing football, both, again, no real idea on what we were doing, but we just thought if we got out of breath and sweaty a few times a week, then it would help on a Saturday when we played. So the background was fairly basic, and this is where I wanted to start from, because the jump to where you are now is like polar opposite. And I've never actually really asked you where this polar opposite change came from. So if we run through now what you currently train as or do.
So now I'd say I got into running longer distances to like the tail end of COVID, probably the last 3 or 4 years. I was doing all like the Instagram trends of running 5K and tagging mates and stuff.
Oh,
like
Christ,
that's probably actually how I got into it, weirdly enough. I bet it's the same for loads of people.
Yeah.
And then I was doing loads of running races, half marathons, and just fairly average, just like training a little bit, doing a few runs a week. And then I think I joined the Triathalon club in Abergavenny for some reason. I can't actually remember why I did it, what my goal was, but I started swimming. Swimming's probably my strongest of any triathlon, of all my disciplines.
Yeah.
So I got into thinking I could swim. The coaches pulled me out straight away. And I went in the lane 1, which is where some of the older people go, a bit more casual. And they pulled me out straight away. And they were like, you can swim like fitness-wise, your technique's the shot. So they pulled me out. And then within 3 or 4 weeks of that coaching, got up to the 4th lane, started being like the lead, like leading that group in the 4th lane by the end of it. And swimming was just by far my strongest, because it's very technique based. As long as you got a good base fitness from running and cycling, your swimming will, as long as you got a good technique, you'll be fine.
So when you say about the lanes there, so you start off in lane 1. So lane 1 is casual, and then I'm guessing lane 2, lane 3, lane 4, they just get harder and harder and faster and faster.
Yeah, in this club, there's some really good swimmers in that club. Especially, I haven't been in a few years now, but there's some even faster people in there now.
Yeah,
a good friend of mine swims in there, and he is rapid. But because there's a lot of older people. Triathlon is stereotypically like an older person sport because it's quite expensive.
Yeah,
you need a lot of time for it. So there's a lot more older people, especially in Abergavenny, there's a lot more older people doing it. So I joined in that lane 1, and I was admittedly faster than them all, but I thought I won't come in. Big bollocks lines. It shut me in that top lane. So I was swimming there, and we very quickly went 2 to 3, and then 3 to 4 is the big jump, I think.
Yeah.
And a lot of people get stuck at 3, but when we got into 4, then that's when you really start training and you are gassing on the whole session.
Right.
Like an hour of swimming.
So when you're in that lane 4, then what is a typical session for the people who are maybe trying to get into swimming or going into that triathlon? What is that session 4 session like?
So what we used to do, it varies a lot. Sometimes it would be very drill based, which is easier, but obviously it's just working on those smaller muscles, just more control, a lot of paddling with like boards and fins.
Okay.
Which is surprising because most people probably don't think you use them. Once you become a strong swimmer, you think you lose all the aids.
The aids.
Yeah, but they still use them, working on your kick in or one single arm swimming. But if it's a full, like a threshold session where you are pushing it in sets of like 100s, 200s, and like they're only like 3-4 minute sets, but
they're just hard sets.
And when you are tired and you, like, breathing is the big thing, obviously, and if you can't control your breathing,
catch that breath, it
is really hard. But
So the swimming side you're saying is your strongest. What is your weakest out of the three? Is it running, biking, or is it?
I'd say cycling,
Okay.
but past like 6 weeks, I've been on quite a good training plan for my cycling. So I'm trying to build that. I'm quite average at them all, if I'm honest. But
that's a good thing, really, isn't it? A
lot of people are strong two, one.
Yeah.
But I've always been pretty, like maybe just slightly above average on all three. Which is, I'll take that all day. Like, but I'm really trying to strengthen my cycling this year.
Yeah.
Events wise, I'm only going to book. I'm going to book events that are quite cycling heavy, I think.
Okay.
Just to really encourage it this year.
So when you say like the bike and you joined a club to do the swimming, do you have to join, like, is it like, because obviously you just said there it's an expensive sport, and I can imagine it being expensive where you have to buy so much different kit, so much different
sports essentially.
Yeah, three different sports. You're doing 3 different training sessions. I'm guessing multiple sessions a week or whatever it is. So when you joined the swimming club, is that different then to the cycling club, or are they like linked?
So that's a tri club. So they do all three.
Okay.
The only coaching they do is in the swimming though. The cycling they do are just like, we're going to go for a ride this Wednesday if anyone wants to come.
Yeah, from point A to point B.
Yeah, and they'll all just like they would coach you if you need to coach it, but it's more just like a social thing.
Yeah.
Some clubs are different. I know the guys down in Torvine Triathalon, they're a bit more planned and structured. And they do a lot of coaching. But
yeah, are you still a member of a club like that, or where would you kind of push people towards if you're not?
If you're getting into triathlon, I would recommend I think it's Eoin Triathalon. They're really good. They're very experienced. They know.
Yeah.
Like, admittedly, I was the youngest there by like 20, 30 years at the time. It's different now. There's a lot more young people there. But their knowledge is very good.
Why do you think that is now, the shift? Because it's definitely the shift in. I've seen a lot of people like our age, like 30 to 40 now, changing suddenly, going into things like High Rocks or Ironman. Like all over my Instagram feed nowadays, it's someone signed up to do a massive challenge, and they've got maybe no backing in that. They may have just like us, play football or do a sport. They've retired from that sport, and then all of a sudden they've gone, I'm going to do an Ironman. Where do you think that's come from?
I don't know. I think running obviously was past 2 or 3 years has been a massive trend, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think maybe just the online presence, which is good, I guess, if it's online, is motivating people to get into it, and then their aspirations grow, their goals get bigger. And then,
I'm guessing COVID as well probably had a big thing where it was the only thing you could actually do, wasn't it?
People getting out and training.
Yeah. No. So the biking then you want to push and you want to try and get a little bit better at. So with the running, when you first started these events, so go back to the very beginning of, right, I'm going to do a triathlon, or I'm going to book a triathlon in or an event. What was your typical sort of week like when you first started? Did you have a plan, or were you just winging it?
I was very much winging it, and I still sort of, I'm really bad with structured plans. So I just sort of, I wouldn't say wing it, but I'm quite free with what I train with. I just wake up and sort of decide what I'm going to do, which is probably a terrible way to do it.
No, it's got its pros and cons.
I'd rather keep it very flexible.
Yeah.
And if I'm sore if my if my legs are killing me, I'll focus more on the swimming or whatever. And I have done structured plans. When I did Ironman, I was following a quite structured plan.
Yeah.
But that was the point where I left my job as electrical engineering, went into the coffee shop or the mobile bar we had at the time.
Yeah.
So I had to spend a lot of time on there. So training during the peak season, the peak like 10 weeks of my Ironman training was when I was doing this business, so trying to make the jump. So that was the hardest point, I think, because you're supposed to be doing like 25 hours a week of training.
Yeah.
And I was just not getting that going into my Ironman.
Yeah, the weightlifters that kind of listen to this podcast, you think that you've got some long sessions, you're in the gym for maybe 2.5 hours, some of you, and I've done it. But when you've got to be out on a bike up some mountain in the rain and cold for the next 3-4 hours, that is different gravy. I used to see the kind of Instagram stories you'd post, and it would be you out on a bike with someone or maybe even on your own, and you'd be up some mountain and it would be like sleet, snow, and I just think, why am I complaining about standing around in this gym when that poor fucker's up on a mountain somewhere trying not to crash?
Funny, it's funny what you do for it, like, for the fitness or whatever you're interested in. You just
go for it.
You love it, like it is strange, but
so There wasn't a moment then. So there wasn't a moment that just went, right, you didn't see something or see someone or have a moment of where you were like, I'm going to go do that. Because it's quite a big change. Like when I first started doing weightlifting, or like it's like when you're a kid, when you start playing football, you watch a football match, you see someone, like you see a Thierry Henry or you see an icon and you go, I love that. Like I remember seeing David Beckham and being like, right, I'm going to go out in the garden and practice David Beckham free kicks. Yeah. Is there something like that with Ironman? Like, are there people in the sport? Again, I'm a total newbie to that, and it probably is, and I'm probably disrespecting the sport.
There's some massive names in it.
Yeah.
But again, there was no one I knew doing it at the time. Obviously, there was somewhere, but our sort of group, our social group, I didn't know anyone doing it.
No.
So I don't actually know where I got the
buzz from.
Yeah, just to start doing triathlon or go turn up to that first triathlon training session.
Because it's a massive sport in terms of physical, but also like the mental side of things as well. You know, you're at that thing for a long period, and you have to suffer and sit. You know, in your case on a bike, you're sitting, you're running, you're swimming. You know, it's quite a big shift for a lot of people. You know, I've obviously as a PT as well, you see people go in and out of fads of running where they'll sort of enjoy up to a certain distance, and then when they get past that certain distance, their head just goes, and they go, I don't want to do it anymore.
It's a long time.
And then all of a sudden they just drop right back to the beginning. So you must have quite a strong mentality in almost the stick-to-itiveness of just plugging away. You know, you must be pretty strong with that side of things.
I think when I was training for Ironman and you were doing a lot of like 5, 6, 7 hours bike rides. Yeah. Thinking back, I think I'd struggle more now. I haven't been training as much as it was 2 or 3 years ago. And I think back, thinking like how you look at your training plans I had written down. I was like, God, I couldn't think of anything worse than doing that now. Yeah. But it's like, even when I did the race on the day, I did like a 7-hour 15 bike on the day, which is,
that's
anyone
crazy.
Who knows the times, like it's okay. It was better than what I thought I was going to get, but people can do it in like on the 10B course, which is very hilly. People can do like 6 hours, I think, maybe even quicker than that. I can't remember.
Wow.
But that's like the pro level, I think.
Yeah.
And it's just a long time. I can't even. It's weird when I think back to that race. You can't even remember the ride. Like, you got no headphones. You can't have headphones. You're not really speaking to anyone.
Right.
But I can't remember any of the ride. Like, you just zone out and you just.
Yeah, you're in the moment. Yeah. It's strange, isn't it? We were talking about it last week where we were talking about like specific moments or specific lifts and stuff like that. And some of the, like in our case, I'd actually want to remember the ride more than I would the lift, because I'm at it for so long. So I'd want to have some memory of like riding past something. But it's weird that in both sports, you do a lift or you do something and it's just gone. Like you're not even. It's just like you're so locked in that you don't even think about it. So when we're talking about the mental and physical aspect of it, what did you have any big challenges when you first started? Like, were there numbers in the sport where you were like, oh, I've got to break that barrier, I've got to break that mileage? And was there any mileages that you were sort of more worried for or harder than others?
So I got put onto a book for training. It was called Be Iron Fit by Don Fink, I think his name was. Right. I use that plan for my training, which is all about time efficiency. So rather than training distances, I train in time. Yeah. So you go for a run. Instead of doing, I'm going to go for 10K, you do a 45-minute run. Yeah. And if you hit 10K or not,
if you go over, if you don't.
You're just going after that time. And that become, for someone who was doing the jump from working for a company to going self-employed, having a bit more, I knew if I was going to work 8 hours in a day and then I had to be home by 6, 7, I had like 45 minutes to train or an hour to train. I know I'm going to go for an hour run or an hour bike or 2 hours, whatever. You know you're fitting in. You just do whatever you do, and you do the intensity, whatever intensity you want, almost. By feel, how you're feeling that day. I train a lot by feel or heart rate.
That's big in it. And again, it's not something that I've really dabbled in, but like the zone 2, zone 3, that crops
Some
up
people hate it.
massively now. And
like it.
I've seen, exactly that. I've seen people say, oh, it's bollocks, it's a myth. And then I've also people see some of the like best athletes in the world say, no, it's a thing. You know?
I like zone 2 training, which is just like conversational, just going out for a run. That your heart rate's up, but you're able to have a chat.
You can hold it.
That's how I love to train, and then check a few threshold or VO2s. In the week, then like 1 or 2 of them, and I remember I think you actually gave me a plan once, didn't you, when I first started getting into it? And that helped my running.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was before triathlon. Now I'd been running. And I remember that helping because you started introducing, I was going into this blind. I didn't really know what to do to train.
Yeah, I think it was very much, effort-based, but it was, you had targets. I think it was every week or fortnightly where we basically aimed to run a set distance, but on a treadmill or outside, and it was basically just increasing the level. But you started at a manageable level. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong in weightlifting and in endurance sports. It's like they start off with a time that's almost their maximum and then try and increase that weekly, and it just doesn't happen like that. And you the next week you might increase the time, or you might beat the time or the speed, and then by the third week you're going, I can't beat it anymore.
I remember you gave me the first ever sprint session I ever did on the treadmill.
And
I even remember the times of it because I remember how much I was struggling on it on the treadmill. And now I look back, and obviously it's been years, so I like to think I'd be faster than that.
Yeah, definitely.
But I do that. You do that pace now as a
steady
steady run. But I remember on that trail, I think it was I can't remember. I remember dying for like a 30-second sprint. Yeah. And it's mad to see where you come on from it.
Yeah. When you say about the running, then you mentioned the speed difference. Does that come a lot down to technique? Because I see a lot of these challenges on Instagram where they'll say run at what's his name, Kipchoge's pace
for as long as you can.
And you look at him doing it, and obviously he's a professional athlete. Obviously he's an incredible runner, but he just looks like he's jogging. Cruising. And then you see someone like me running on it, and I'm just like all out sprinting for 10 seconds. And you see the gait changes and things like that. Did you get coached with running for that?
No, I never had running coaches. I run with a lot of people. Which we'll come on to probably, but there's a few, like a smaller group of us who go out a lot together. I'm quite tall, some of the boys are a bit shorter, and I run next to them, and their cadence is like, they're turning over so quick, and I'm like, God, and he's a better runner than me, so I think maybe I should be doing that. But then you got to think about the size difference of us, and I hear his footsteps like in front of me, and I'm like, God, he's
trying,
turning over so quick. And then
but
I'm just thudding along behind him.
You just got to run to your own body.
I guess you just run whatever feels comfortable to an extent, as long as it's not damaging yourself.
Well, talking about damaging yourself, when you first started, there's quite a big change in training splits. Did you have any injuries in those early days? Was there anything that you would suggest to beginners not to do, or if they crop up for beginners?
To be honest, touch wood, I've always been quite injury-free. Although since turning like 30, 31, I woke up the other day, funny enough, and realized like, fucking hell, my back's locked up. Ankle's killing me. And like, I don't know if it's the shift of age, but all of a sudden I've got these injuries that are just piling up. But from starting off when I was like 25 or 26, whatever it was, I was always quite strong. But then that's probably because it also comes down to the background of being in the gym, I reckon. Because a lot of the guys I run with are injured quite a lot. But they were never really into the gym as much. So I think just building up good
strength
joint structure, your strength in your bones and your joints and everything like that, I think it does help massively. And I probably take it for granted because I didn't really think about the switch from going to the gym to running. I probably don't even realize the benefit it had. I'm seeing it more. Well, I'm seeing it more and more now because it's becoming more a prominent sport out there on people's social medias. People are more likely to do it, and the amount of people who are, let's say, between the ages of 40 to 60 now that message me and say, "Oh, can you help me? I'm a runner, but I'm getting injured. I need help with strength conditioning." And I've got a client who came to me. She's 60, Diane, and she's been running. And I said to her to start with, let's just get the basics done. Let's get your body feeling strong and fit and healthy. You got the fitness there. You can run. She went and did the Berlin marathon recently. She's a well-cultured runner, but she was saying, my times are getting worse. I'm getting older. And she had a run the other day, which she had a PB for the first time in like 5 years. And it was off very basic, simple training, and it wasn't anything like wild. We didn't have like an 8-week training block where we were solid. It was basically once or twice a week, come in, cover the basics. And she just said, I felt stronger to finish, your legs feel better, your ankles, your hips, everything just, so that strength and conditioning background probably definitely helped you in that respect.
When you first started then, what was the first race you signed up for? Can you remember it?
The first running race was Newport Half Marathon.
Fuck, right, okay.
Yeah.
So you threw yourself right in at the deep
That
end
was the
straight
first
away.
one I booked, and then I trained towards that race for like 3 months. That was the first time, from day one getting into running to that. I think I ran like a 1:37 maybe.
I'm useless with numbers like that,
Yeah.
times-wise. Is that any good? Is that all right? Like,
It's okay for like someone who's quite new to running, I think.
yeah. Okay.
But obviously but then most people get into running from scratch, having a bit of base fitness.
Yeah.
So you have a bit of a head start already.
Yeah. Did you have a goal going into that race,
Not really,
or was it just get through the race?
I don't think I'd ever run a half marathon before, so I had no idea how fast what the target was like.
So a lot of it was just get it done.
Yeah, I did it with my wife's dad.
Yeah.
So my father-in-law, and he was training. He had just got into running as well.
Yeah.
So I was just doing a bit with him.
Just get it in, get it done, get a time and leave. What was it like nerves-wise? Did you have any nerves on the start lines, or when you first signed up to the competition, did you have any kind of
Yeah, you do get
butterflies?
nervous. You do get nervous, but I think the atmosphere on any race, even like the smaller 5Ks, they're always so good. Like, and you do sort of get carried away with it.
Yeah.
Still nerves, but a different type of nerves. Like you're just raring to go, sort of thing.
Is it hard to stop yourself from going off too quick?
Yeah,
Because
I think that's a very common. Any runner now, it's just almost impossible not to. Like, you got to be very disciplined to just like ease into it.
Start off at a pace and go from
and
there.
I'm sure people are good at it. Any race I've always done, I've gone off too quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, even park runs, you just
If
you're going for a 5K PB, you just still want to chase that guy in front of you. Like.
Yeah, I suppose it's the. I've never done a run like that. And I probably will never do a race like that. But the equivalent to me is like when you're about to start a football match. And you have that, you're standing there and you're waiting for the ref to blow the whistle, and you're kind of like, first thing I've got to do now is I've just got to hit something or run as fast as I can, or I've got to get out of my system really early. I can imagine that being the hardest thing when you're standing there in a group of people, everyone's feeding off each other's energy, and then all of a sudden the timer goes off and everyone just goes and flies off. There was someone asked me the other day actually in the gym, and they were talking about the high roxers. And again, I don't know this, so I might ask you it. But they said the people who come first and second in the event, their first run was actually a lot slower than their second, third, and fourth. And I suggested, I was like, maybe it's because they didn't want to let that nervous energy and adrenaline almost blow them up and spike their heart rate too soon before they get to the first station. I don't know whether that's similar in the triathletes or the triathalons.
Definitely,
you know.
Yeah, if you're doing a swim race, obviously swimming is even probably more daunting. I find it more daunting anyway, especially open water swimming.
Well, we're going to get into that,
you're lining up on that, wherever you're on the beach or whatever, and you are like shitting yourself pretty much. Like, you know it's going to be busy, and if it's choppy, you know you're going to be like almost holding on for your life at some point.
Yeah.
And if you are adrenaline, you're already out, your heart rate's up before you even get in the water, and now you got to control your breathing, hold your breath for every stroke.
Yeah.
That is like very hard to not get carried away with it. Yeah, and just like swim like fuck.
Are there ways that you can get rid of it? Like because I know what I would say, we've got the benefit of the doubt with, we've got the benefit in weightlifting where in the back room, what I'll usually say to someone, if they're really, really nervous, I'll just get them to lift something really, really light over and over and over and over again until they just calm down and they get that natural rhythm of their heart rate comes down, they're not stressed anymore. Because sometimes the worst thing you can do with a lifter is keep adding weight when their adrenaline is already high, because they just get this massive peak and then it just crashes. Is there something that you can do before swimming like that, or is it just a case of getting the water? And
there is, like, I know people who, if you're not going for like a time, like a recorded professional time or anything, and you're just doing it for you, there's loads of people who'll run into the water and just breaststroke for the first.
Oh, okay.
For the first,
just to ease themselves in.
Or whatever. Yeah. It lets the gap gain a little bit, or you got a bit more space. Some people, if you're going around a buoy, like obviously you go out, around and back. But obviously, if it's about 100 meter wide of people, you've all got to cut in and then go around that cone, and then like it's just asking to be kicked, and you get punched. And, I've had my goggles kicked off my face no end of times, like when you're swimming. And if you're nervous about that sort of stuff, people will go
Way out.
They'll just add an extra 50 meters to their swim just to stay out of all that.
Yeah.
Just to calm you down a bit, maybe.
Yeah.
But that was my plan when I went into it, and I ended up being on the most inside corner, just like climbing around the fucking buoy.
So, the big question for me, because I'm not a big swimmer, I snorkel when I'm on holiday. I'm nowhere near going to be like in a swimming pool doing lengths and doing crazy stuff. And I appreciate, like, I've been one of the, not scariest points, but I remember I was on holiday once, going off topic massively, but I swam out and there was a buoy or a boat that was, it seemed like miles away, but I was like, I was just kind of in my own world. I swam out to it and I was like, yeah, no problems. And then I turned back around and I looked at the shore and I was like, fuck, I've covered some serious distance here. Yeah. And then I started swimming towards it and the waves were fighting against me. And at like some points of it, I was thinking, fucking hell, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And I personally couldn't think of anything fucking worse than being in a race in a choppy sea. And that was in like Tenerife, where there's no real waves, you know, it's chilled, and I was just cruising. And I got back to the shore and I had to like play it off, but I walked up the sand, I was like I was like shitting myself. So how do you prepare yourself for that?
I've always been really lucky. Any race, I've only done a handful of open water races, and I just get lucky with the stillness of the sea. I don't know why, but you see, like, there was a thing I can't remember, 2 or 3 years ago maybe, where it was the Irish Ironman. I think it's Cork, and the Irish Ironman, the sea was fucking unreal. It was just like Zeus was just fucking torn
chopped everything.
And I think it was a rocky entry as well, which makes it even worse.
You can't run in, you're
climbing in. And they let it go ahead, and I think 2 people died.
Fuck.
And like people were getting out of their swim, surviving the swim, getting back, and seeing people getting resuscitated on the beach and stuff.
Oh, man.
So there was uproar around that, like. And that comes down to them just like, obviously everyone wants to swim, but they need to make a call there.
Well, I remember Lauren said when she came on, she did an event where they just cut the swim out, and she was gutted about it. But then when they actually really went back and looked at it, they were like, it's a good job that we did, and you just end up doing extra of the other 2.
But then it goes the other way. Weymouth just gone last year. Their swim was cancelled because of the weather forecast. They woke up the day and it was a perfect swim. It was, and then people are furious. Like, people are saying, just let us swim. And some people went out and just did the swim by themselves anyway.
Wow.
Obviously it's not recorded, and obviously you're risking it yourself, but it was perfect, they said.
That's mad.
So it is annoying, especially if you train for it.
So give me, right, you're standing there then, it's your first open water swim, it's your first, so I've got big races to discuss with you. We've got the Ironman Wales, the Titan 70.3 half Ironman, and then the Great Welsh Marathon. So when you did your first swim, would that have been the Ironman Wales, or would that have been the Titan?
So my Titan was open water, but it was Brimback Park Lake.
Oh, yeah.
So it is open water, but
it's calm,
like, and it's almost so shallow.
That if anything was to go wrong,
I just stood up. And I was like ankle deep, but I was just adjusting my goggles.
Started walking around.
It was good, like, but that's the problem with some lake ones. You're so close to the edge, you could run it. Like.
Maybe that's the hack. The speed run it.
It is good. Like.
So the Ironman Wales was the first open water swim.
Yeah.
Right.
And to be honest, I did like 5 open water practice swims.
Right. Okay.
Which is not many. That comes back to the blasé-ness of
you
training.
So
maybe too laid back with it all.
But. So so you're lining up then at the Ironman Wales. You're about to go out and do your first swim. What was it like in terms of, were you in a pen? Was there lots of people there? Like, roughly how many people were there?
So it's an early start. You drop your bike off the night before and leave it overnight. I think I must have got there. You get back to the transition zone at like 5 a.m. Drop all your nutrition off, whatever you need on the bike. Put your wetsuit on. You walk over to the beach then. And if anyone's seen any videos of Tenby, it's like there's like cascading ramps the whole way up on the backdrop, and there's just thousands of people looking over the beach. Right. So you get there and it is fucking daunting. Like, I think it got voted last week as like the 2nd best Ironman in the world or something like that.
Isn't it meant to be one of the hardest as well?
Yeah, it's on par with a lot of them, because it's so hilly. Yeah. So you walk down to the beach, and there are pens then. Obviously, the earlier you get there, the closer to the front you are. But then people just jump the fence anyway. Anyone who's quite strong and feels confident, they all just hop over the fence to get to the front, which is a little bit unfair. If you're not there early enough, you're not there early enough.
Yeah. That's
But
a bit of a
whatever.
piss take. Yeah.
But you are stood there for like, I think I was stood there for about half an hour. I got quite close to the front because I wanted a good swim. And I was there for at least like half hour, 45 minutes, just like nervous.
Just stewing.
Obviously, then your toilet nerves come in.
Yeah.
You're trying to hold in a piss for like 45 minutes.
And you just wetsuited up, just standing there
on the beach,
just whatever weather it is, just standing there.
Yeah, we had good weather actually. I think it was like record levels of heat that weekend.
But that can have a big effect because you stood in basically a sauna suit.
Yeah,
sauna suit with the
still
sun.
like 6 a.m. there, so it's
okay. Right, okay.
It's just like nice.
Do they? Is that for a reason? Then they start that early so you can finish it.
I guess so. The cutoff is like 17 hours, I think 16, 17 hours.
Right.
So obviously that could go into the evening.
Yeah. Okay. And then what was it like? So you get into the water. What was your first emotion like?
Yeah, it is scary, and you are again trying to control your nerves. I'm quite swimming is my strongest, so I went for a good time. So you're staying with that front bunch for a while, and you are getting booted, and people take it. I think people take it personally. When you say I kick someone, I can know he's coming back for me.
He's going to hit you. He's going to punch you.
And I obviously it's accidental. But then I'm watching every time I lift my head, I'm seeing him coming in. I'm just waiting for a boot to the face, and they will get you. So your goggles get knocked off. You got to try and paddle while you're getting them on. Yeah, it is quite fucking. And you get water in, and then you start panicking, and there's fucking jellyfish everywhere. You get you're pushing against the current on the way out. You go across the top, and they do a thing in Tenby called the Australian exit.
Right.
So you come back. You're expecting a tide to pull you in on the way back, but the day we did, there was no current coming in. So we were waiting for that pull, and it just never came. So you're just putting effort in the whole way around. And then the Australian exit is, so it's a 3.9k swim, and you're doing the 2k, you get out for a bit, and you run along the beach then, and get back in. I don't know why it's called an Australian exit, but then you
get back in the water.
So you do half, get out of the water, run along the beach where you start again, jump back in.
Right.
And do another lap.
Do another lap.
Yeah.
Why is that for a reason? Or?
I actually don't know why they do it. I don't know. Maybe it gets too deep at some. Or
too
maybe
congested.
I tell you, it could be something to do with the boats, maybe because there's a lot of fish. Boats and stuff.
Oh, that's fucking. See, look, that to me sounds like my worst nightmare. I think I would be the type of person to take that personally. If someone kicked me in the face, I'd be like, "Whoa!"
Problem is, there's so many fucking people around. You look up, you're like, "Who the fuck was that?"
Yeah, that's it.
Just pick some random bloke, grab his leg,
swing in for people.
It's always just accident. Well, I think it's accident.
Yeah, I've heard of. I think we had Mike. Yeah, Mike Catras. He was saying about a swimming event that they were swimming around a buoy and someone put their hand on his shoulder and ripped him back.
They'll climb over,
and they were climbing over the top. And I get that you're competing against each other, but fucking hell, it's not that deep.
And it is hard not to do it because you're all coming into that, and you take up a lot of space when you're swimming. Yeah. So you are going to catch each other. But yeah.
So when you come out of the water then and you go into your first, so it's swim, bike, run. So when you get onto the bike then, are you just glad to get the swim out of the way, or because in your case the swim is one of your strongest, so are you then thinking, oh god, I've got this bike now?
I think a lot of people survive the swim, they say. That's the phrase people use, survive the swim, crush the bike, and then survive the run for a lot of people. Yeah. Whereas I was the opposite. I think there should be a longer swim for an Ironman. Yeah. If you work out the distances, it does work out. Like a marathon is equivalent to that sort of cycle. That 180 kilometer ride is equivalent to a marathon, they say. Right. A swim, if you work it out, it's way shorter in comparison. Right. So I think they should extend the swim personally. But for me, you go, especially for Tenby, you get out the swim, you got over a kilometer run to the transition, and it's all uphill. So that alone is a gassy part. Hard. Because you're still knackered from the swim. There's atmosphere. You are psyched up. Like I got out of the swim, and there was a massive roar. You got to get your bag on the ramps on the way up. Find your number. Grab your bag with your shoes in. Yeah. I put my running trainers on for that bit, just for a bit of comfort. And then there was a big cheer when I got out. I was like, "Fucking hell, this is class!" And then Shane Williams. He got out of the water at the same time as me. Yeah. He's a sick cyclist. He's really good. He's good. He's just a strong triathlete.
He's a freak. Yeah.
Yeah. And but I beat him in the swim, and I was getting out, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then he came. He's obviously a bit shorter, so he came past, and he was fucking gunning it. Yeah. I was fucked. He was sprinting. I didn't see him for the rest of the day. Then.
Yeah. Gone, that's mad. So you had a bit of almost stolen valor from Shane Williams coming out of the water. So then you go onto the bike. What was your what was your thought process for the bike then? Was it just a case of gun it, or was it survive it?
So I set an 8-hour target, and I think I did 7:15. So I took a fair chunk of it off, like 45 minutes, which I was happy with.
That's such a massive chunk. Like, how do you get it so off? Or was that 8 hour really conservative? Like, were you thinking
a little bit, maybe, just based on training rides for that sort of distance.
Okay.
I never did that distance on a training ride, but like if I do 100 kilometers, say. But obviously I was focusing on hills on my training ride, just so that slows you down. And although Tenby is very hilly, you're sort of so psyched up. You just
flat out.
Yeah. But the biggest thing for me is fueling. And it comes onto my run later. I was just smashing gels down. And I was taking about 90 grams of carbs an hour, give or take. But just doing all gels is just the worst thing you can do.
It's hard work.
Because by the time I got to the run, my stomach had gone.
Yeah.
So I could probably take an hour off my run, I reckon, because I had to stop at almost every port loop.
Yeah.
My stomach was just destroyed.
Gone.
So if I was to do it again, I'd eat more solid food on the bike, or just take 5 minutes.
The solid food, though, I'm guessing is your sort of sweets and your sort of squares bars,
even sandwiches and stuff.
Yeah, like carbs, just to keep it going.
Yeah, just like bland sandwiches.
Because I'm sure if Sam was here, I've put down, he would ask a lot about the nutrition, which I want to get into with you in a second. So you when you transition then from the bike to the run, what is that feeling like? Because I'm guessing your legs are pretty toast starting the run.
So you get off the bike, you load up, and then it's a quicker transition from the swim. Obviously, you haven't got to take a wetsuit off. So transition 2 is a lot quicker normally, because all you're doing is helmet off,
hop off,
shoes off, running trainers on, and you're out. And someone took a video of me, a guy who came down to watch, and I fucking gunned it out of the transition. For like the first 2 or 3K, I went way too fast out of the blocks. Yeah. And I looked strong on the video he sent me after, and I was like, fucking hell. But then, as soon as I got around the corner, I was like, fuck. Just done it all for the camera.
It's the typical, look good, and then out of sight, you're just flapping.
Yeah, and Ironman, the run on Tenby is hard. It's 4 10K loops, or just over 10K. And they're just out and back sort of things, and it's like a gradual incline the whole way. You do about 500 meters of climbing over the marathon, which is, for a marathon, is a lot. Like, people go to all these, London, they're barely 100 meters. They're flat, and this one was 500 meters, and you're already fucked as well.
It adds to it all.
Yeah, it is hard. And you see, every lap you do, you get a little bobble, a different color.
Okay.
So there's 4 colors. You do one that you walk through the checkpoint at the halfway, at the 5K point, 15K, and then they put a color on you. Yeah. So you're running, and you can't help but look at everyone else.
Yeah.
Fuck, he's got 4.
He's flying.
And you do that, and then, but then the other way, when you're coming to the end, some people are just going out. You look at them like, he's only got
he's only just started. He's
fucked,
So when you finished that run, then what was that feeling when you finished the race? What was your time, first of all?
So I can't remember the exact time. I think it was 13 hours, 15 minutes or something.
And what were you expecting when you went there?
I went for sub 14. So
again,
so
massive,
pretty much
massive
45 minutes I took off the bike.
You took off.
Was my overall takeoff, which is, so other than the bike, I was pretty bang on. I reckon I could take a big chunk off my running though. Yeah. Just because of the toilet stops. Yeah.
So when you finished the race, what was that like?
Funny enough, so you finish, obviously you are knackered, but it's a different type of knackered. I imagine I don't do high rocks or anything, but I imagine you finish that, you're on the floor, dying. You finish something a bit more endurance based. Your whole body's drained, but you're not passing out. You're just exhausted. I've done a marathon before, just a marathon or so, and you finish after gunning it as hard as you can for 3 hours, and you collapse over the line. But over Ironman, I walked back and I was fine. I was in bed within half an hour of finishing.
Of course.
But I finished the line.
It's more your CNS, your kind of energy in general that's so low, not so much your body.
Yeah, I had this whole plan, I'll go get beers and stuff after it.
Yeah, it's just fragged.
I was in bed straight away, flat out.
What were you eating afterwards? I know I want to touch on the nutrition thing because Sam would kill me if I didn't. But I've seen and I listened to a few people who have done Ironman, and they say after the Ironman, lots of people just can't eat.
Yeah,
they just say they can't do it.
You finish, you get your medal, you get your whatever, and they give you this a little buffet in their tent after, and you get pizza and all carbs, lots of protein and stuff. But again, you're trying to force this tiny little slice of pizza down. Yeah, and you just don't want it. No one wants them, but everyone's trying to eat them. Obviously, all electrolytes and fluid and
to get it back into you.
Yeah, trying to but you're just so tired, you just don't want anything, and you've been eating gels,
sugars, and
all day, and you just feel gross. And I remember thinking, I was so tired coming into the last lap of the run, my skin was like sensitive because I was so tired. And you go through these sprinklers because it was so hot that day. There was people passing out everywhere because like no one expected. It was a bit of a freak day, I think. It wasn't that hot that weekend. Just that Saturday was boiling hot, so people were like under fueled for it, just passing out on the run, dropping like flies. So I was dehydrated probably, and I was going through like the sprinkler that they spray on you, and it like stung.
Fuck.
It was horrible.
Yeah. So the after effects of the Ironman, what were they like?
So when I finished it, in terms of training, I tried to stay on it a little. I did have a few weeks off, just to have a few weeks off, and then I did try and stick with the running more than anything. I think I then focused on, while I had that level of fitness, I tried to bring my 5K time down for some reason. A bit of a like random from longer.
Just a goal.
Yeah, a little bit. And I did get it. I got it really far down to like, I was like 18:30, I think my PB is.
Yeah.
Which for me, I was really happy with, being like 90 kilos.
Yeah.
But then I fell off. Once I hit the PB, I sort of just stopped training for a bit.
Yeah.
Still going to the gym and played sports and stuff.
But yeah, the after effects then of the Ironman, did you have any sort of injuries or niggles afterwards? What was let's say the week after the event, were you feeling banged up, battered, or were you pretty much okay?
The day after, no, because I think you're still
processing.
You're excited to go back into the town.
Yeah,
because it's like a full weekend festival. Like it's really good. I really recommend going down there just to watch. Like the whole town is buzzing. So you go down, you see everyone walking around with their like all their merch and medals and stuff. It's a good atmosphere. And then they do like this big presentation of like the winners and all that, and any awards going out. So we went down and watched that. I wasn't sore the day after. I wasn't really sore. I was aching all over, but no injuries as such. Until like the week after, then I think the tiredness catches up. Because you've just been living off adrenaline for the past 2-3 days. Yeah,
it's mad what competition does. I don't care what competition you do, if it's endurance sport or an explosive sport. It's that, especially when it's a high pressure situation like that. Like I've had some of my guys and girls who have played maybe in a sporting final or a weightlifting competition or like a run or a high rocks.
Yeah.
And I'll always say to them, the week after your competition, do whatever you want. Do as little as you possibly can. Chill, eat, sleep. Like, don't worry about training. Because at some point, something will hit you. And it's that wave of tiredness. And the amount of times I've said to someone, have that week off, and they're 2 days in, they're like, oh, I feel great, I feel fine. And then literally the following week on that day, I'll say, how are you feeling? They're like, oh, just I'm so run down, I'm not sleeping. And it is
it's hard, like, because it's what you love to do. You just want to get back on it. And mentally you feel like you're losing fitness. But
realistically, you need that time.
Same as taper weeks before. I hate taper weeks because you feel like you've had 2 days off and the race is coming up and you fucking you feel like you've lost it all. But
it must be, it's similar in all sports with the taper week. The taper week is, like I always say, the taper week is there to make you feel good. Like, the taper week isn't there for any other thing. You're never, like a week before the competition, whatever it is, you're never going to improve anything anyway. So, the taper week, you should feel absolutely battered going into that taper week. And then after the taper week, you should feel a bit better, a bit more sort of functioning, and your body's feeling good, and you're away you go. So we touched on a little bit then the fueling and the gels and stuff like that you had in the race. What would a typical day's worth of eating, if you were doing a big session or a big training session, what would your sort of typical nutrition be?
So if you're on the bike, I bonk a lot on the bike. I'm really bad with my nutrition. I try and be good, but it's always worth bringing way more than you need.
Right.
So whether you're in your cycling jersey, just load up on gels and like sweets and have a good breakfast, obviously. I find I've always been oats.
Yeah.
It's, as long as it's some sort of carb.
Something a bit slow releasing.
Anything like that, bagels. But then you're looking at, on a race day, like I said, I think it's like anywhere from 80 to 100 grams of carb an hour.
Right.
Which is like 2 of the good gels.
Every
half hour. If you try and not do gels, you can get like blocks and stuff.
Sugar cubes and stuff like that.
Like, I got
like
a friend
dextrose, is it? Like dextrose cubes?
I got a friend who makes his own stuff. So on the bike, you can have a thing called a carb mix in the bottle.
He just
makes his own. He just gets like, I don't even know what he puts anymore. He just puts like spoons of sugar in there.
Yeah.
Juice. Just like makes his own little concoction because he's just fed up of drinking and spending money on these.
Yeah. No, that's
they
fair.
are expensive.
Yeah.
I'll always try and bring like a couple of flapjacks and just a bit more solid food because I do struggle with the gels.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. And then I'm terrible for planning a coffee stop. No matter what the ride is, I'll stop at a coffee shop. And have a coffee.
Well, that's fair enough. Given part of your business is that. So I guess that you're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
So you've done your Ironman Wales. What is? I don't want to go into too much detail about every single race you've ever done, but the three big ones you've done. The Titan 70.3. What is that? Where was that?
So Titan. So for those who don't know, Ironman is the brand of triathlon, I guess.
Right.
So there's the Ironman 70.3, Ironman. Then there's Ironmans all over the world. Then so Titan is just another brand.
Oh, okay. So it's right. I got you.
So there'll be hundreds of different middle distances or Olympic distances, or sprint distances. So a sprint would be like a 400-meter swim, a 20k bike, and then like a 5k.
Oh, Christ! So it is a literal all-out, flat out.
Some people say they're harder because you are
balls out all the way.
You're zone 5 the whole way around. Like.
Yeah.
But then there's Olympic distance, middle distance, and then full distance. I like middle distances or Olympic distances.
Yeah.
Which I've done a few of them. But the Titan try was in my training plan for the full try as a halfway point, like sort of benchmark. And it's that's a tough try. The swim is good because you're in the Brinback Lake, which is obviously calm, as you like. But I remember we went out for the bike ride on that Titan. You go up, it's called the Dragon something mountain or something.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Oh
Dragon's
God,
Back?
Dragon's Back.
Dragon's Back. There's always shit weather up here. For whenever there's
always
races.
freezing, raining, sideways wind.
On this one, you have to wear a high vis and you have to go out with a raincoat. Because the year before, it was so foggy up there. I think 5 cases of people hitting a sheep. Just like smacking into sheep all over the mountain. So you have to wear all this stuff now. I took my raincoat off as soon as we set off because it's just way too hot.
Yeah.
After you get going. But that's a burner of a ride because you go down the mountain at the start, and then by the time you've done your 80, 90k, you got to go back up. Yeah. And it's a burner.
It's no longer hills, it's literal mountains at that stage, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, which is good. I quite like it. But and then the run was just 3 7k laps of the lake. Yeah. Which is, again, a bit boring, but.
And did you do that with anyone, or did you just do that on your own?
So I was training at the time, Adam Prosser.
Yeah.
He was training at the same time. We actually didn't speak to each other. I noticed on Instagram he was training a lot, so we trained for that together. He had a bad case on that day where his bike just fell apart. He got picked up by a FedEx driver back to the base. But we did that, and that was a really good race. I really enjoyed that race. And that was a nice, I knew I could do it. That was a sort of realization moment where I knew I could do the full because I finished that pretty comfortably.
Right. Okay. So that was a good indicator of things to come.
Yeah, it timed perfectly. In my plan, it says do a middle distance in this one. Yeah. And then I found that one, and it was the perfect date. Okay. So it all worked out.
So you did the half Ironman, then you went into the Ironman. So would you suggest that for anyone who's going to do looking to do a full Ironman? Yeah. It might sound obvious, but I know there's plenty of people who will just go, oh you know what, fuck it, I'll go do the full Ironman and stuff like that.
I did a sprint. So when I got into triathlon, I bought into Ludlow Sprint Triathlon, which was my first ever. That was a pool swim. So it's 400 meters in a pool, which is I think anyone can do really. Obviously, maybe with a bit of training. Yeah. A 20k bike and then a 6k run. Yeah. And that was my first ever triathlon. All went okay, but again, it was just a sprint. So you just go and balls to the wall. Yeah. But then I finished that the day after. I went on holiday, and while I was away, the Ironman opened up then for booking. So I booked that straight after a sprint triathlon.
Yeah. And so you've gone from one to the
all the coaches were saying, "What are you doing?" Yeah. And I was like, "Well, I'll book things in between, but I just want an end goal sort of thing."
Yeah. That ties into a point that I want to finish with later on, but you've always been someone that's kind of, when you have an idea, you usually just go with it. Wing it. I think that's a good thing to have in the locker. I think it
just works for me, to be honest. I've tried structured plans and I struggle with them. Yeah, I'm not disciplined enough to follow it. Yeah, to
the letter. Yeah. So when you look back at these events then. So, you know, you've also written down so you did the Great Welsh Marathon.
Yeah, that was my first marathon as well. And I sort of did that just to make sure I could do a marathon before
To
doing
do the
an Ironman.
distance, yeah. So you say like you haven't had that much structure, but you've done things quite sensibly in terms of you've made sure that okay, I can actually do a marathon. I can actually do a half Ironman, and now maybe you booked it a little bit awkwardly backwards, but at least you weren't going from like someone like myself going, okay, I've never swam a day in my life, and now I've booked an Ironman in 6 months. You know?
Yeah, maybe looking back, it was a bit more structured than I realised.
It's a pretty good way of doing it. But when you look back at those events, was there anything that you wish you would like approach differently, or in the other respect, were there things that you just thought, yeah, I absolutely nailed that on the day? Like you talk about your running and the gels and stuff like that. You would change.
So fueling I would change. I would actually train. You're so focused on training your fitness and your muscles. Training your stomach, I think, is a lot more important.
Okay.
Than people realise. I think it's becoming more of a focus.
Yeah.
Like you think you're fueling well, but then you switch your gels or whatever, and your stomach just doesn't get on with them. Yeah. Or you try solid foods, and it's better for you.
Yeah.
So I would definitely train my stomach, and I've been better the past few years. I've really tried to. I'm still bad at it, but it is just a learning. You're always learning, like because some things work, some things don't.
I suppose it's one thing that, in your case, you can try pretty regularly, and in my sport as well, we say, you know, especially before a competition, we've mentioned it so many times, so I don't want to repeat myself, but we'll always say, look, if you're fueling for a competition, eat what you normally eat. Like,
how would you fuel? Like, if you had a lifting competition tomorrow and you know you need to go for your full max, how would you?
It's very similar to yours in a way, but it's just eating comfortable foods that you would normally eat before training. So realistically, most people our age always have like a set amount of meals that they cook.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll have 6 or 7 meals that I'll usually cook 3 times a day. And I know that, okay, I'll have that for breakfast, I'll have this. But on competition day, the day of it,
do you increase volume?
It's not so much volume, it's just increasing like the carbs a little bit more. But you can then overfill, and you just feel so full of stodge that when you're trying to, you're moving, and it's such a quick sport that you're moving so fast that you're starting to think, oh God, I feel sick, or I feel like I'm standing up and I'm like dizzy and I'm sparkly. But it's not so much like gels and stuff with weightlifting. It's more
fast.
There's more like fast carbs and caffeine. So caffeine, I don't know if you would have like a lot of caffeine in yours because it's a long distance, but we'd have like
I don't.
a caffeine gum.
Okay.
So it'd be like a fast acting, it kicks in within about 10, 15 minutes. You can get caffeine pills, which are fucking, real good. But they will be, you would basically go, if I was to go for a competition and I didn't have to lose weight for it. So if I could just eat what I wanted, I'd have my normal breakfast before I went there. I'd weigh in. Then after the weigh in, you usually have 2 hours. So I'd probably have some like pasta. I'd have some like flapjacks or some like oats or something like that. And then I'd have a Lucozade Sport or a Monster. And then as I'm competing, I'd have a caffeine gum to start with, and some like Haribos that I would just put on the side, and then when I want to, I just snack on them.
Surprisingly similar then, really.
Yeah.
Considering they're like completely different ends of the fitness spectrum,
right? It's similar, but it's a much shorter period. So like our competition is done, you know, you've got, let's say if I was to break it down, you know, you've got 50, 70, 90, 100, 110, 115, 120. So you've got, realistically, on my best day, I'd probably have 8 snatches to do, and then I'd probably go 50, 70, 100, 20, 30, 40, 50, 7 clean jerks. So those, you've got 14 lifts that take less than 5 to 10 seconds each. So, you know, your overall working time, obviously you're doing warm-up sets and you're warming up a little bit more, but your overall working period is probably like 20 minutes. You know what I mean? So it's like you don't need to be like gelling and like it's like all you need is a big spike of caffeine to like get you going, and then you just need to ride that wave. And then if you can ride that wave for the full 20 minutes of basically working, you're golden. But yeah, so yeah, it is very similar, but just you've got to keep going.
Yeah, we'll bring a bag of Haribo with us and just take a handful every hour.
Yeah. We're not doing that. It's like you just stuff your face as you're doing it, and then once it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
So, are there anything that you think? Yeah, I nailed that.
Swimming, I was really happy with my swim on the day. I think I did like an hour 7.
And what about the swim were you happy with? Was it like the technique or the time or the way you composed yourself?
I think I was surprised about the time more than anything. Yeah, composure maybe as well, because you never know what's going to happen out there. Like, and I only did a handful of outdoor swimming, like open water swimming, before we did that. Yeah. Which is probably a bit stupid, really. You should train that a bit more. I just did all my swimming in the pool.
But, sorry to interrupt, but what happened? Like, I was just thinking when you were saying that, you did how many?
Maybe 5.
5. So 5 open water swims, right? I get that it's experience, but when you did the 5 open water swims, are they on your own or are they races like 5
just
open?
on your own. Well,
just on your own.
Maybe with a
right, okay. Because I was thinking, like, if you did 5 open water swims with people involved, like, I was thinking then, would it be negative if you had 5 races and you had 5 bad experiences? So you're just constantly in your own head about, okay, every time I swim, I get kicked in the head or I get pushed. Whereas if you just do it once or twice on your own and then once or twice with a group, then you could have a positive experience and then maybe one negative. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
It only takes one traumatizing thing, doesn't it?
Yeah,
People put off from it.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
So it's the swim was the thing that you thought.
Yeah, I was happy with the swim. I was happy with the bike, to be honest. Yeah. Only because I surprised myself at the time.
Yeah.
And then the run went to shit, to be honest.
Yeah.
But if I was to do it again, which I probably will at some point, I might go abroad or something. But
that's the next question for me, really, is what are your next steps? Like, what are your, in the sport of training or races?
So, on a bit, like, we'll probably go on to the business in a minute, but that takes up all my time at this moment. So I'd love to do another Ironman, but I probably want to do one to beat my time.
Yeah, you want to do it properly. Which
isn't probably the best way to think of it. It's probably nice just to do one, but
no, it's a good way of thinking about it.
But I want to have the time to train, and at the moment, I haven't got the time to put 20 hours a week in training. Like,
is that the kind of rough estimate of time that you would need to do the Ironman?
20 hours a week, like, at its peak, maybe 20 plus.
Yeah.
So I did like a 30-week program last time.
Right.
Week 1 to 10 was maybe like 10 hours a week. 10 to 20 was maybe a little bit more, and then by the last 10 weeks, you are pushing it. Like
pushing everything, yeah. So there aren't any races that you're looking at, or potentially like abroad or anything like that, where you think, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind or fancy doing that.
Yeah, I do another. I might do long course weekend. Long course weekend is Ironman, but split over the weekend. So you do the swim on the Friday, the bike on the Saturday, run on the Sunday.
And what is it? Longer distances for that, or the same distance?
So if you
could really go for it, go for it.
It could even be. I always thought it might even be harder because you're probably waking up the next day sore.
Yeah.
And having to go back out.
Emotionally drained.
But you can just do one of the days. Like people who don't like triathlon or don't like swimming
could just go.
They could go on the bike if they want.
Okay, and where's that?
Same place,
Tenby again.
Course,
okay.
I think it's the same course. I might book that.
So there's options.
Yeah.
There's options around there.
It's a bit earlier in the year as well. So
where are they abroad?
All over, everywhere.
Is it? Is it just everywhere in the world?
Yeah,
is it?
any major city.
So it's not like niche thing?
No, not really. Okay. I got a friend.
Anywhere that's got somewhere to swim, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
They did say moving to Cardiff Bay soon.
Oh, okay.
Which people are not happy about, but they'll do the swim in the bay there.
Why is that not?
I don't know. Tenby's just got a lot of history with it, and
everyone loves it. So I suppose it would take the attraction away from Tenby a little bit.
Yeah, it's world famous, isn't it? So
got you.
The bay, I just don't think the bay would be as good anyway.
I got you. So, in terms of then something that we're going to touch on now is the business aspect, but I want to touch on your running group. Is it just a running group before I get that wrong?
It started as a running group. But then we realised I was obviously doing triathlon. I found out loads of other people have come from different sports as well.
Yeah.
Some of them were just doing the run to help with their other sports as well. There's a lot of cyclists, a lot of swimmers.
Yeah.
There's loads of different people.
So when you created the group, so the group is called?
It's Caffeine and Cardio.
Yeah. And when you started the group, what was the motivation behind that?
So I started in September 2023, just after Ironman. So with Ironman, you're training all those hours, and I was doing them all solo pretty much, maybe with other people on the weekends. But in the week, mate, especially, you're on your own for hours.
It's hard graft.
Yeah, it's just a bit boring. So I started it, and admittedly, I did it as a running club, and I thought maybe like 4 or 5 boys would turn up for a run, and you just get to know them.
Just
and,
chat.
I
Social
selfishly
aspect of it.
maybe a bit like stupidly thought it'd just be men. But then by week 1, I put out on Instagram and stuff, and there was only like 3 or 4 people I knew. The rest were strangers, and there was about 10 of us. Obviously, running clubs were sort of getting a bit, were blowing up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then by like week 4 or 5, there was 30 of us. And then at the peak of that winter, then I think we must have done 100 plus one weekend, one Thursday night. This was
crazy.
Before the business, and we used to meet at a pub or a cafe.
Yeah, I remember
every
seeing
Thursday,
the pictures of
like
it.
outside the King's Arms or whatever at 6 p.m. on a Thursday. And the pictures were just getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I remember those pictures.
And I was just like, no one was bringing a head torch. And it was just like,
carnage.
It was a bit like, fuck, this is a bit more than I sort of expected.
Because that's what I remember, because I can remember the very first Instagram post you ever made, which was the logo. And I remember talking to you about, like, messaging, being like, what is this? Like, this is sick, this is class. And how quickly that blew up. I remember seeing then the pictures you would post on Instagram of you all stood outside the Kings, and they would be like, 1 week it'd be 20, then it'd be 30, then it would be 50. And I remember just thinking, fuck me, like, how is he dealing with this? Because I
was stressing out.
Like, I've run classes, and I've run like classes. It's slightly different because you're in a confined space, but like when you have that many people to look after, you all of a sudden you've gone from I want to do this for a bit of a social, a bit of a laugh, and a bit of fun, and then all of a sudden you've got to look after 100 people.
You are worried, like, and
you don't necessarily know where they're going or whatever, you know.
You're worried about, like, if someone hurts himself.
Yeah.
So I was researching all this. I messaged other running clubs from different places, and they just said, as long as you like put a bit of disclaimer,
cover your bases.
Yeah, and just say there's no coaching going on. This is literally, I'm going to be running here.
Yeah.
Anyone else wants to come for a run?
Yeah.
Welcome to join.
Yeah.
We did that early. And I'll be honest, like, the club now is pushing 300 members.
Wow, that's
which
awesome.
Is wicked, and it's nuts. Like, every single one of them are so nice.
Yeah.
Super sound people. We haven't had one like prick come in.
Knobhead.
No, not one. Like, everyone's very supportive. We got mixed range of abilities. There's some super runners in the group, like who run crazy times, run for Wales.
Yeah.
And then all the way to people who we ran Couch to 5K a few times.
Yeah.
So they started that. We meet
I was going to ask that
in
in terms of the levels of runners. Do you do like feeder kind of
I need
beginners
to get back on it, really.
You know,
But
advanced?
we did a few Couch to 5, especially like come January times. We always used to do it, and then they would build up, and then they would. So we'd all meet at one time. We'd split off into the Couch to 5K and the normal 5K. But now all those Couch to 5Ks
are just running the 5Ks anyway.
Now.
Yeah.
And like people, it's hard to find the balance now because people have been running with us for nearly 3 years, and they've all got so quick that the base speed, the average speed of the group run now is just way higher than it used to be.
Yeah.
Which is hard now because when you get new people coming in,
they're further, they're way back.
There's such a bigger gap now. So I'm still trying to work out. We make sure there's always a tail runner. So I'll brief.
Like a pacer.
Yeah. So I'll do a bit of a brief of the route at the start of the run. Get it, whether it's me or someone else volunteers as a tail runner. Stick with whoever's at the back. Just stay with them.
Yeah.
And it's the only way we can think to do it. But.
And do you, as a club, like, are you a registered club? Like, because I know I've got a client, Susan. We shouted her out last time. She's fucking amazing, Susan. She runs for Pontypool, the club there, Pontypool Runners or Pontypool something. And she'll regularly say, like, this race is for points. This race is for the like a championship. Are you like registered in that, or is it just still like a fun?
At the moment, it's just a social club. At the moment, but we are. I don't know. I've had different people say to me, ask me if I'm going to affiliate it. And I did look into it, but then you got to look into insurance.
Fees.
You have to have coaches to a certain level. So it all becomes a bit more serious then. Fees might come into it then, which I don't really, I want to keep it quite inclusive. I don't really want to charge people.
Yeah.
But then other people saying, don't ever do it. Keep it
fun.
Keep it social. Yeah.
I think if you're onto a winner anyway, because like you said, if you've got nearly 300 members and you haven't had any sort of bad apples, you know you're onto a winner there, and you know it'll continue to grow with good people. I think the moment you, and I've been in to loads of clubs and different clubs, the moment you introduce some sort of competition, fuck.
Oh yeah.
Like, it flips everything upside down. You start having cliques of people going like, oh, we'll sign up for this race but not include people because we want to beat their time, and then all of us, I'm not saying that your group would do that, but it's strange what you see in people once you have that, Owen's top time is this, and then everyone's going, right, let's put a a bullet on his, a bullseye on his back, and let's go for him, you know.
Yeah, but then there's plenty of clubs. There's loads of wicked clubs like Pontypool, bring back.
Yeah.
There's Griff Harriers are really good.
Yeah.
And there's so many, if they want to do that. And,
a competitive.
Yeah, if they want to, there's plenty. And most people from our social club are members of running clubs.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. So you've got nearly 300 members. Mm-hmm. We just, is there a next step then? Or is it just a case of continuing to grow like sort of organically? Or are you trying to get more people involved?
I don't know. I still get messages multiple times a week of joining. So we're slowly just building up people. They come into the shop and see it, or they find us online. So they message to join the WhatsApp, and I add them. Yeah. And then it's daunting for them to come because everyone's been going for so long. Everyone's very friendly with each other. Yeah. So coming in as a new person is you've got to make sure scary, that they feel comfortable. And I've been missing quite a lot lately. So I'm not there because I know they're coming, but I'm not there to say hello. I'm the one who knows their name, sort of thing.
It's harder. Yeah.
It is hard for them, and we've had people who come and then they don't come back, and I hate that because it like makes me feel terrible. Yeah. But
it's only so much you can do in the day.
There is. It is hard. But in terms of growth, it is tricky. We have started doing cycling groups and trail runs. So we meet, like you see, most people 4 or 5 times a week now. Training which is great. We've actually started a 5-a-side team with them now.
We're doing
that now as well. Just another night. Just meeting them. Yeah. But that just shows how sound everyone is. Like you
just organically growing.
Spend every night of the week with them.
Just organically. Just happening around you, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. That's cool. So the club then ties very nicely into the business side of things because they kind of coincide quite a bit. Yeah. And I remember, can we go into the start of this brand? So the Dugout. So the Dugout brand and the Dugout sort of business, how did that begin and can you give us a rundown of like where it started all the way through to current day?
So I was looking at doing a mobile bar business as a bit of a side gig while I was an electrician. And COVID was happening. It was 2021. Myself and my brother bought a horse box. Yep. Him being a painter and decorator and myself being an electrician, we managed to just like get it converted during lockdown.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you remember the worktop we cut out in the fucking unit, up in the Josh's unit in the freezing cold? Do you remember that? Fuck me.
It was out there for 3 months in the middle of winter.
Absolutely freezing cold, trying to cut this fucking square to put the sink in with blunt fucking tool. Freezing cold. In a metal workshop with no heat in. Oh, brutal that was.
I forgot you did that with us.
Yeah, that was funny.
How come you were up there for that? Why?
I don't know what. I think I remember you saying that you'd had the horse box, and I was like, oh, can I come up have a look at it? And you said, oh, I'm going to do work on it. So I said, oh, I'll come up and give you a hand. And then when we actually we spent most of the time fucking around with it, and then we finally decided to cut the hole for the sink out, and it was just the worst tool you could have ever used. It was absolutely horrendous.
Hacking away at it.
It was just it was funny times. But
so we did that during the first year. Oh, like maybe it took us a couple of months, 3 months. Started taking on like a few cycling events.
In the horse box,
in the horse box. This is just a bar at this point. So we were just like a couple of dud ones where we probably lost money massively on it. But again, we were just picking and choosing what events we wanted to do, like weddings or like local village hall things.
Like anything you could get your name
we were
out
learning
there.
what works and what doesn't work, and like 90% of the events didn't work.
Yeah.
But if you had a good one, it was a good day. So fast forward then, like we started slowing down on the events, thinking like it's hard graft, like moving that horse box around. Yeah. Moving the stock, everything. It's surprisingly hard work, and you see people do it on their own. Luckily, there's me and my brother. Having two, if I was on my own doing it, it'd be solid. Like
beasting of a day.
It is, it's a busy old day, and then you're serving people on your own, which is hard enough.
Because I remember you telling me about a food festival you did, the Abergavenny Food Festival. You did. Was it the first time you did it where the Saturday was like boiling hot weather, sunny, beautiful, and you were like rushed off your feet, got to a level of, okay, right, second day now is going to be the profitable, the big one, and then it absolutely hammered down.
We hired a singer. Yeah. You're paying out for singers and for food and stuff like that, and then there was just no one out. Yeah. So you just lost all. So it's just that
that. I suppose it is experience, but it's all that money that you just feel like. Experience. Yeah.
even so, at the point then, I got to the point where I was done with my job.
Being a Sparky.
Yeah, I was a 12-hour shift engineer up in a few factories.
Yeah.
I used to bring my bike in all the time.
Yeah.
It was like a type of job. It was hard work, but a different type of, like, you'd have days doing nothing, and then all of a sudden you got a big job.
Like carnage. Yeah.
And then you're working flat out for 12 hours, just lugging oily
Bits.
crap around. Like,
Yeah.
So I used to bring my turbo trainer into the workshop.
Yeah.
And train in the middle of the night. Like.
Yeah.
And that's probably where I got most of my training. And then all the welders would turn up at 6 a.m. I'm in my leotard, dripping in sweat, and I open the door like, all right, and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, sorry. So I was just done working those shifts. I was like struggling with them. So I took the horse box. We bought a coffee machine then. I was getting into my coffee at the time. Bought a coffee machine, spoke to the Trinders, like Gav Trinder down at the Abergavenny Garden Centre. They were looking for a coffee truck. So we went down there and started serving coffees. And then that allowed me, I owe them a lot because that allowed me then to jump ship. So I quit my job, went full-time down there. Looking back, it was financially a big mistake.
Right.
Because I took basically no wage for that year. There wasn't enough income to take a wage from it, really. So financially, took a big hit. But experience-wise, I'd probably do it again, maybe. Just because...
Well, it led to this, didn't it? I think any decision you make, as long as you continue to evolve and learn from it, I think is invaluable. And well, you're going to continue on the story now, but look where you are now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, and so I was struggling big time, dipping into my savings all the time. So personally, you get like outside of work, you get stressed about that, the money side of it. But I then one day we were still doing little hustle events. We'd drag it out of the garden centre, go to an event. There be where your money is really, because the garden centre, even though online I'd be posting pictures of people queuing the queue, that's like
it's quiet
5% of it. The rest of it, there's no one there. Well, there are people there, but like, I don't know. It was just never very profitable for us. So I took a big hit there. After like 2 years of doing that, or a year and a half doing that, we were walking through town, myself and my brother, and the shop where we are now had a for rent sign in the window. And I was like, fuck it, we'll give him a ring, just to have a look at it. It was a bit battered up at the time, the building was. And I rang him. The guy didn't even know what we were ringing for because he had put the sign up maybe like 10 minutes beforehand.
Wow.
So it was literally just a bit of chance.
Fate.
Like, it almost fate, yeah. So we walked past and I rang him. He was like, oh yeah, you can come have a look if you want. So we went in, only looked at the inside of it. Like, you've seen the garden now. But at the time we didn't even want the garden. Yeah. Because it was just so overgrown with like 30 years of
growth.
Shit,
I remember the pictures you sent in, and it was just like, if you can imagine, I can't describe how tall some of like the nettles, the pictures and stuff. It was just brambles that were like 12 foot in the air.
Yeah. So we just wanted the inside, and if we just did the inside, we probably wouldn't survive. It was the garden that saved us, really. But anyway, we put an offer in straight away to rent it, and we got it. Started work, so we had the keys January 2024. So this is not long. This is 3 months after the running club started. So we had the keys. We had 3 months in there to basically strip it back. We did it all ourselves to the point where we could. Had to get a few friends in.
I suppose it's quite handy with Will being sort of the trade that he's doing. You had a trade,
and
so
we know a load of
you're in the business, aren't you? So you can get in with people.
I could do the electrics. We had Will doing all the painted decor. We had a friend who could do carpentry, so he come in and build all the stools and stuff. Our coffee supplier gave us a big hand coming in. Like,
is that these guys, or is this your own?
Yeah, that's Big Dog Coffee.
Oh, I know Big Dog. They used to do Willpower's one. Yeah. Big Dog.
So Hugh at Big Dog helped us out massively. He really taught us how to install it all pretty much. Yeah. Efficiently anyway. So we had 3 months to basically get it ready. So we completely stripped it back. Then in the end we got Mitch Heffernan to come in.
Mitch,
He destroyed it, within you looked at the garden. If it was just us, we would have been there for months. But he flattened it in 2 days.
Yeah.
Then we got a landscaper in, and he done the garden out really nice. And it was just, everyone was just shocked that this garden appeared of that size in the middle of town.
It's massive.
It is mental.
I would say in if you don't know Abergavenny, I would say Abergavenny is usually it has a totally different ecosystem to most other places. It's absolutely pissing down in Pontypool or Blunavan, and it's this little pocket of sunshine in Abergavenny. And your garden, when I came and saw it the other day, in the sun, you walk into that garden and it's so big. It's massive, just think, oh wow, this would be the place that you'd come summer, that must be amazing.
So the inside capacity is maybe seated 30 at a push, but the outside you fit in 200.
Yeah.
So it changes the business in the summer.
Yeah.
yes, we opened up there March 5th. So it was 2 years the other day, actually. And it's just been rising since then, since day one. Like, takes a bit of time being the new shop in town. Like, you get your new business rush. And then it dies off a bit, and then you're just slowly trying to build up then.
Well, it almost, like, again, it's whether it's coincidence, whether it's fate, or whether, there's certain decisions that you've made with, like, the running club and stuff like that, that going hand in hand with then having a base to, like we were saying, you were going to the Kings and you were outside the Kings doing all this. Now you've got your own base and you're also, you've got a cafe bar, you're selling coffees, it's almost like you've made this business, not maybe necessarily you've made it that way, but it's just fallen into place that it's, you've got that base now for your runners to come in and chill and it's a lovely area.
Yeah, that was part of it. So we were, on a quiet Thursday night for most pubs, we were bringing 40, 50, 60 people in, all having, like, most of them would stay for a drink. If it was a Coke or a pint
coffee,
or whatever.
pint,
so it was great for, like, supporting local businesses. But then once we opened our place, we just thought it'd be ideal.
It's about time to have a bit of that yourself. But that's not a bad thing. I don't think that's a fucking bad thing.
It's just nice to have a base.
Yeah, but I think people nowadays, especially I'm a fucker for it as well. It's like you do so much or try to give so much to other people, and when it comes back to you, then you almost feel a bit bad. But it's like at some point you've just got to go. Look, we've got a wicked base. We spent all this money on a building, done all this, and now. There it is. Yeah.
It is great. And I used to have a fear of people thinking it was just a long-term plan of.
You can't plan that.
No, but, when people come to the run, I tell them there's no pressure. You don't have to come in. Back, just come. You can come back and chat for a bit if you want.
Yeah, just sit and chill.
Don't feel like pressure to buy a drink. Like.
Yeah.
I don't want people thinking I'm some sort of mastermind. You are. Based on my training plan, you can see how unplanned I am for shit like that.
Yeah. You can't plan that. Though. No.
I think people get that. I like to think people get that. Feel that they're welcome no matter what. Like.
So in terms of that business now, so the Dugout Cafe Bar, is there any goals for that?
Just more growth, eventually expansion.
Yeah.
Whether we move or just double up, maybe. I'd love to double up because I got some plans of what I'd like to do.
Okay. Can you discuss those plans, or is that like a secret plan that you don't want to give away just yet?
It's not so much secret. It's just something like me and my brother probably have to speak about it more.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
In my head, I'd love to have, with the running club or sports club in general, we get loads of cyclists and stuff, being one of our main things on the weekend.
Yeah, it's a hot spot in Abergavenny as well, isn't it? It's like the halfway point between places, isn't it?
For fitness groups, we get a lot, but it's not very accessible for cyclists. Like, you can bring your bike through into the garden, but it's not like built for that. So my next dream anyway, would be to have somewhere just on the outskirts of town and have like a cycling cafe. Like
a pit stop place. Yeah.
A bit like, not to steal their idea, but like Bath House have done for their niches motorcycles.
Yeah.
Like heaving. Yeah. If I could have something like that for cyclists, like a heaven for them just to fucking
to come in and have a coffee.
Cycling merch and do events out there. And I'd love to do that.
That's really cool. That's really cool. So, right, I've got a couple of things to finish off on. So, going through the whole thing then, so it's really nice, because obviously I've known you for so long. It's quite a mad journey that I've kind of dipped in and out of, because friendship groups have changed and things like that. But I've always kind of seen or watched from afar, kind of like, the general kind of upward trajectory of what you're doing has been fucking brilliant. And the one thing that I've said here, the one thing that I've kind of liked or maybe admired about you is what I was saying earlier about when you have an idea, you just go for it.
Yeah.
And like, whether you think you're like blasé or kind of like a bit like nonchalant with it, I think that's what a lot of people struggle with. And it's something that I'm trying to learn and do more of, because you miss out on so many of those ideas. And like the running club idea for yourself, not having that, you're not a coach in running. No. So like having a running club for me would be like, right, I need to be a running coach. I need to do this. I need to do that. And then I'll open up a club. Where you were like, right, you had a totally different outlook of it. Like, fuck it, I'm going to start it. And if anyone turns up, then we'll, that, I think, you're already leaps and bounds ahead of someone like myself that's going, no, I need to get all my fucking eggs in one basket and change.
It's almost like having like advice there would be like shorter goals rather than having one big end
Yeah,
goal. Just
that's
like
it.
first one is
Just get started. Just get started.
Second one is like maybe 5 people turn up.
Yeah.
Next week then
You just
goal.
build. So yeah, I think that side of the story that you've just told has been is brilliant.
Yeah, it's just ups and downs. Like, it's mad looking back at it. Like all the things you hit. And even now we hit walls all the time.
Yeah. With the social media aspect of it. So obviously I'm still learning to speak on camera and we're trying to get better and better at it. You've just started something, haven't you?
Yeah, so I've just started a thing called the Dugout Diaries, which is basically like a behind the scenes of the business.
Yeah.
Again, similar to you and Sam, just like rubbish in front of a camera. So, hate hearing your own voice and all that. So I'm trying to get better at that. So we've only done 2 episodes at the moment. They're only like 2-3 minute long. So like a little behind the scenes, which people seem to like to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it just gives people the reality of certain situations as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I think the next episode is actually going to be around the running club, to be honest.
Oh, it's wicked.
So I'll do like a little Q&A with a few of the runners and stuff.
Yeah. And where can people, like the listeners, find that?
So that'll be on our Instagram and Facebook, actually. That's all we use, really.
Yeah. And what's your...
So our Instagram is the Dugout Cafe Bar, and the Facebook, I think, is the Dugout Cafe Bar FB, I think.
Nice. Okay, cool. So if anyone wants to keep sort of track of that series, go give that a like and a share and a follow. So to finish on 2 points, to any of our listeners that may be sort of beginners looking towards maybe running for the first time or going into like conquering something as big as like an Ironman, are there any bits of advice you'd give them in particular for someone like that?
If I was to do it again from scratch, I would definitely join a club, not like join a social club. For just to meet people, because then that's how you find out so many things. I still get taught things now when I'm out on the bike and stuff. By the more like experienced cyclists. But joining a club like the Triathlon Club, where there's just like heaps of knowledge, and they'll just teach you things like I thought I could swim. Because I used to swim when I was younger, but I jumped in with there and they just like rinsed it in the nicest way, just tore me apart. Like. So I would get in and get coached as early as you can. And like the Triathlon Club's so cheap. It's like their membership is £20 a year and then £4 a session.
Oh wow! Okay,
so it's like very accessible.
Yeah,
I really recommend that for
anyone who's
starting out.
And to anyone who's looking to start a business, because you've had a couple of different ventures now, and you've gone into this, the next step for you. Are there any piece of advice you'd give someone that's maybe like stuck in 2 minds, or maybe not pushing an idea that they could potentially go with? Yeah,
it is hard because we did ours. We went part-time on it first, just so we had a bit of a side gig, and that worked because I was in a quite reasonably paid job as an electrician. And that was quite a big risk to drop that. So I wouldn't have done the jump straight off full-time. So if you can do it part-time, which is harder, it's easier to say.
No, I get it though. It's not just putting all your eggs in one basket and jumping straight in.
Which sort of makes sense, I think, just like...
just in general. Anyone, but, I suppose though the benefit that you've always got is because you've got that trade behind you that if anything was to go absolutely tits up, you could be like, right, okay, I've got a trade I can step back into. And it's similar. I think a lot of people are in that. I've got clients who are like teachers for like 15 years and then all of a sudden they're like, I love baking. And they're just going, right, okay, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to start selling and baking. And whether they do really well or whether they don't, they'll always go, well, I've still got 15 years worth of teaching experience. And if I need to, I can always just dabble back in. I think people just forget that a lot when they're on the edge of like jumping in or starting it. I think they almost forget that the job that they've currently got, you could get again. It's okay. It's not the end of the world.
And it's great to have that. I couldn't go back now. Like after experience, I'm so glad I did it. Like looking back at the shifts I used to do and stuff, I don't think I could go back now to not being self-employed, if I'm honest. Just for the flexibility. It's still hard graft. It's probably harder graft. But it's a different type because it's on your own terms. You work the hours you want to work. I don't think you finish in the shop and you're still going home and you're jumping on the laptop and
you're still
working for a few
I think
hours.
That's the difference between. I think that's the scary part for a lot of people going from employed to self-employed is you get almost not sold a dream, but you get sold this like, oh, you're self-employed, you can do what you want. It's like, you can do what you want, but you ain't getting paid.
You don't see
behind the scenes of
which is what
everything.
that Dugout Diaries will be, hopefully. To, people realise. Because people, like, I don't know if this is a bit thing to say, but, like, coffee shops, people think they're just raking money in.
Yeah.
And it's not at all. Like, because obviously coffee's expensive now.
Yeah.
You're paying for, like, nearly £4 for a drink, like.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. But there's so many outgoings that I think we obviously do cafe and bar, and if we were just coffee without the bar, we probably wouldn't survive. Like, so it's like hats off to anyone running a coffee shop.
Just a coffee shop.
I find it nuts. Like, we need both, like, as much as they need each other.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So, in terms of where can they find the Dugout Cafe Bar in Abergavenny?
So the shop is on Lion Street. So if you know Abergavenny,
it's opposite Morrison's, isn't it?
Morrison's,
yeah.
Big black building.
And the most important question: are you showing the Six Nations final day?
We are. We're showing all the games.
Okay, perfect. So for anyone who is like myself, going out to have maybe a pint or two, you do Guinness as well, don't you?
Do Guinness.
Good pint of Guinness, being Irish heritage.
There's a bit of an Irish touch to the bar, I guess.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, so if you're looking to go watch the final days of rugby, go down, have a pint or two, and well, I'll probably see you there. So thank you, mate, for coming on.
No problem.
And
thanks for having me.
Episode 31.
Is it?
Yeah, episode 31. Christ. Yeah, lovely job.